Okay. Hey, welcome everybody to another Paint the Edge Shop, where I teach you how to make a cool painting in about an hour and get a little drunk doing it. My name's Joel. I'm going to teach you how to make a cool painting today, and today we are painting this one right here. Okay, this is the Moonlit Owl, but today I'm going to be doing the Moonlit Squirrel, which I'm going to do basically the same painting, but I'm going to put something different on an owl. I've had an owl. I don't want to make something different, so let's probably do a squirrel. Okay, so that's the painting we're doing today. If you haven't already, please like, share, follow, subscribe, upvote, tweet, all the things. Search Paint the Edge Off, you'll find me. Also, like I do with every class, I'm going to give away a free giveaway painting. Okay, all I got to do is correctly answer my completely subjective trivia question first in the comments, and I will send you a free giveaway painting of your choice. And yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, so before we get started, let me tell you what you're going to need. You will need a canvas. Okay, this is a 16 by 20 canvas. You can use whatever you want, but that's what I'm going to be using, so that's what my measurements will be for. If you use a different size, that's fine. Might not line up with my measurements, is all, okay? I want some kind of easel to put that on. I've got paper towels. I've got a water cup, okay? Water cup, okay? You need a water cup to mix your paint in with water, also to wash your brushes out, so keep yourself a water cup. You want some kind of palette. I use paper plates because they're easy. I've also got whiskey, okay? I've got a blow dryer. That helps me dry my paintings nice and fast so I can keep moving through them quickly. And we've got some tools here. So I've got just a regular old pencil, okay? Pencil, a couple pieces of chalk. This is just like sidewalk chalk. I've got a piece of blue and a piece of like a coral orange color. Okay, just a couple colors in case, one doesn't work. I can use the other one. And that's good for drawing on your dry paint. You can sketch it up. Okay, and then if you don't like it, you can lick your finger and it comes right off. I've got 4 brushes. I've got a big flat brush. I've got a medium flat brush. I've got my medium round brush and a small round brush, okay? Those are my 4 brushes. I'm going to take those, put them bristle down in my water cup, leave them there anytime I'm not using them. And let's see what else. I've got black paint. I've got white paint. I've got a phthalo blue, and I've got a light yellow. So that's going to be everything I need for today. So with that being said, let's take a shot, have fun, chat, follow along, paint the edge off. Okay. Whew. Okay, all right, let's get my shot counter up here. Boom, 1 shot. I actually took 1 before the show, but whatever. Okay, let's start with our pencil. What we're going to do is we are going to... basically, we're just going to make a little spot for where our moon's going to be. What I want to do is kind of find this top quadrant. Somewhere in here. Put it right there. That's going to be the center of my moon. Maybe I'll move it up a little bit. Maybe I'll put it like right here. Yeah, maybe a little over. Maybe right there. Okay, let's go here. That's a good spot. Okay, let's get some white and some black paint. Most of the paint we're going to use for this one's going to be white and black. White paint. Black paint. Need a lot more white than black. Bottles. Lake and air. Okay. Let's take our big brush out of our water cup here. Tap it off. Okay, and let's start with some white paint. Now, you want to take your brush. You want to stir that water with your white paint, okay? All right, so we're going to start with just white paint. Get that all mixing in. Lots of water mixed in with your white, but really stir that in. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start with our background, and then we'll work our way forward. Okay, so let's start with our background. Let's take a bunch of white. Okay, I'm gonna start here, right here in the center of my X there, where my moon's gonna be, and I'm just gonna pull out away from the center. Okay, pull out. All right. It's a life lesson for everybody. Just pull out more often. Too many people on this planet. Here we go. I'm going to do it all the way around. I'm just going to go all the way around. In a big old friggin' circle. Okay, now at the top, now you can have this go straight off the edge of the top. Oh God. I'm going to have it kind of maybe more fanning down. So maybe I'll bring it up a little bit, but I'm going to have a little bit of gray at the top kind of going across. Now, that's up to you. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm gonna have a lot of white, so let's get a lot of white paint here. I want this white to be strong. Oh, wow. Oh, my name. Okay, lots of white. Okay, now let's take our brush. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape some of that white paint off on the side of my plate. Take my brush, wash it out in my water cup. Okay, give it a nice washing. We're gonna get some black, and we're gonna start on the edges. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of white, mixed in with my black. We want this to mostly just be black. Let's get a little bit of white mixed in. And now if you see that black is super strong, so I just need a little bit of white to mix in there with that. And yeah, there we go. We got kind of just a real dark gray. It's not straight black. It's kind of a gray, a black gray. Let's get a lot of that mixed up. A little bit of white mixing in there. Okay, now we got a good amount of that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by basically just kind of going around the edges here. Okay, kind of filling in the edges. Get a lot of paint on my brush. Really scoop it up. I guess I should have gotten more paint mixed up, but hey, there we go. Okay, now once I get this kind of mixed in around the edges, now once I get this, let's mix up a little bit more because apparently I need a lot more. Okay, let's make maybe a little bit lighter gray, a little bit more white mixed in with our black. Oh yeah, oh there we go. Now, what we want to do now is we're going to start pulling towards the middle. Okay, now right now I'm just going to kind of, nothing really too important here, just kind of start getting that, touching that white. Okay, on the bottom, I hate how it always hits the bottom of the easel, so I kind of prop it up and hold it. And then there we go. We just want to get this kind of like a little mixing section. I'm kind of going fast because this is going to dry, so I got to go fast. Oh, hey, Sharon. Sharon. Oh, Sharon. What's up, Sharon? How you been? Okay, so I'm just going to, now once you get going and kind of get your brushes kind of getting wet there, you know, now it's kind of flowing a little easier. Over here it's a little bit more dry, so let's get some of this paint in here. Once you get all the paint on the canvas, like so, it's all those white spots are kind of filled in from the canvas. And you can kind of start going. Okay. Now at the top, like I was saying, I'm going to make the top a little bit more, like a little dark. All right. Now, I don't want to go all the way to the middle because I want to leave that middle section white. So I want to mess with that. I don't want to go too far into the middle. I want to have some of this white kind of showing out around my moon. So I want that to come out. So I'm trying to leave a little bit of, space, but I am trying to fill in all the white of my canvas with paint. Boom, boom, boom. Woo! Shake weight is a good tool. That's how a lot of the professional painters train. They start with the shake weight. I don't know how the old masters did it before the shake weight. Well, let's get a little bit more white. Now, this is where I want to put in some of those bright whites coming out from the middle. So this is where kind of got to really be decisive here, okay? Really to be decisive, okay? Take some white and let's just go wow. Okay, sound effects help, okay? If you've watched me paint, you know that's true. Wow, okay? Give it a little bit of whaw. A little bit of wham. Okay, now, if I keep brushing those in, they're going to go from white to like a gray. And I got to keep scraping my brush off because every time I do that, I get black paint on my brush. I'm going to get some more white. Okay, so let's kind of bring some of those whites out. Especially, I like to put a lot coming straight down. So I'm going to put some more white here. Maybe some here. Really kind of put your... there we go. Okay. Now, once I do that, then I can kind of be careful. And I'm going to take a little bit of... maybe wipe some of my brush off a little bit so it's a little dry. Now, what I want to do is kind of lightly... I want to leave some of these bright whites, so I don't want to cover all of it up. But let's mix some of this in. All right. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, get some of those... whites kind of blending, get them kind of those streaks We want it streaky. Going streaky. Something like that. Yeah, you can sit there and mess with it all day long. I don't know. But maybe I'll put a couple spots. Maybe I'll break into some of those white spots. There we go. Get something like that. Maybe, you play with it for a minute, but at a certain point, it's never going to look perfect or exactly how you imagine it. So, at a certain point, just kind of let it go. That's pretty good. We're going to leave it like that, okay? Okay, let's take a shot, okay? This picture is dark, because I'm a deep person. I'm brooding. I decided on this one by, well, this was a kind of painting, a similar kind of fashion. Something that we did at Paint the Twist, like every 5th painting was something like this. Very simple. People just eat it up. Super easy to do, too. So, cheers. Okay. Okay, let's blow dry this. I'm going to paint my edges, and then I'll put the trivia question up. So, let's see. Trivia question is... what is the worst Halloween candy? We got candy corn. We got butterscotch. Okay. We've got almond joy. Okay. D, I like all candy. E, circus peanuts. F, dots. G, Tootsie Rolls. Or H, I don't celebrate Halloween. Okay, that's your trivia question this week. So whoever answers that correctly, I will give you a free giveaway painting of your choice and send it to you. Just tell me an address to send it to, and I will mail it to an address just for you. Okay, let's see. What's up, Van Gogh? Cracks Van Gogh. All right, Purdy says C, Almond Joy. Ooh, good guess, good guess. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and paint my side edges. Let's see, what's been going on lately? I watched Dune last night, saw that in the IMAX, and it was pretty good. My only problem with it was it should have been louder. I just wish I went to get my eardrums completely blown out, and they were blown out, but I wanted to not be able to hear for like 3 weeks, and I could only not hear for a day. So, but no, that movie was pretty sweet. The sound in that movie was just crazy. Kind of some parts in it that really freaked me out because of the soundtrack. I do recommend seeing it in IMAX because it was just, wow, it was awesome. And it's probably a totally different experience in IMAX, but it was pretty cool. I almost felt like I was in like VR. The screen's so huge, I'm like, am I in Dune? It was pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, we got someone guesses candy corn. Good one. Good guess. Good guess. Still a lot of terrible candies out there to guess. Alright, I'm blow drying and I'm painting my side edge. I got the trivia question up if you want to guess at that while I do this. Okay. Edges are painted. Let's see. It's pretty dry, but let's touch this really wet. Okay, it's almost dry. Okay, so, ooh, licorice. Ooh, that's a good one. I should have put that one in. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to take the trivia question down. Oh, excuse me. Did I count that shot on my shot counter? I think I did. Let's take another shot. Okay, let's take another shot and we'll keep going to the next step. Okay, the next step we're going to draw in where our tree and our moon and things like that are. Okay, let's take some whiskey. Oh man. Okay. Okay, so let's take our chalk. I'm gonna start with blue chalk, okay? Blue. Now let's see how that shows up. Let's see, does that show up well? That shows up okay. Maybe let's try the orange and see how that shows up. Alright. Now, again, like I said, if you make a mark you don't like, ooh, I think that might show up better, I don't know. You can just lick your finger and wipe it off, and it comes right off, okay? Okay, now here's my X that I drew at the beginning. That's going to be, I can faintly see that through my paint. So I'm going to start there, and I'm going to kind of start drawing a big circle. Now, if you got something to trace, ooh, that's still very wet. Let's dry that. Thought we were dry. Felt dry. Oh yeah, a set of yeah. Just one hooter in this one. Don't have a set of hooters in this one. I'm gonna do a squirrel for this one, so no hooters. This freaking thing was dry. You know, maybe I'll come back to this. Oh man, that's super wet. Okay, let's come back to that spot. I'll let that dry for a minute. Oh, God. Whoopsie doodles. Whoopsie daisies. Okay, so I'm gonna spill this soda pop everywhere. It's okay. We're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm just a little drunk. Okay, okay. Jesus. Made a freaking mess over here. You know, you guys don't know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to do this, okay? You know, it's really tough being me. Like, my friend, I had somebody on Facebook who's posted, stop. It was one of those things where it was like the little clap emoji for everything they said. Yeah. No, so maybe there's some soda in my paint though now. But it was like this thing, and she put, "Stop saying how easy it is to be a stay-at-home mom if you've never been a stay-at-home mom." A clap in between every single word. And I thought, okay, yeah, but then I thought, but really, I mean, if you did that for everything, you could say that for anything. You know, be like, "Stop saying how easy it is to be a white male if you've never been a white male." I just think, you know, in general, you could say that about anything, you know, so I don't know if that's really a fair assessment. Stop saying how easy it is if you've never done it. It's like, yeah, but then anyone could say that, you know. Some rich billionaire could be like, "Stop saying how easy it is to be a billionaire if you've never been a billionaire." You know what I mean? Like, okay, I got some more whiskey, some more Dr. Pepper. Let's try it again. Okay, I might be on 4 shots. I'm not sure. Okay, so hopefully during that fiasco, maybe this is dried more. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to drawing the moon in. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to take my orange chalk. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to start with where my tree is going to be, and then I'm going to draw a little line for where the ground is going to be. So let's start with our tree. I like to give myself a good hand's width here. You know, give yourself a little bit of space from that edge. And I'm just going to start. I like to draw my trees with just a line. Then I add the thickness when I paint it in, okay? Okay, so there's my tree. Uno line so far. And then I'm going to put my main branch, which is going to be right here. And that's going to be basically going right underneath where my moon's going to be. Okay, so I kind of got it going right here. It's a little hard to see on the screen. I'll make it try to make it a little darker. Yeah, some of this paint's still wet. That's for show. Das for show. Okay, so there's one. That's our main big branch. Okay, now let's add some other ones. Here, let's put one right here. All right, maybe one here. Maybe one there. Now, if you notice, I'm kind of going back and forth. You don't want to have one coming out at the exact same spot. Just looks weird. I don't know. Just does. Just does. Okay. Now, off of each one of those, I'm going to add some little branches. So just some little lines. Basically, I'm just going to do a little line kind of coming out of there. I like to have them angle out, come out like a Y or a V. Don't do that. That's a bad branch. Don't make a T. Okay, you want to make a Y or a V like so. Like so. You know how easy it is to be a millionaire. If you haven't been a millionaire, don't shout as out as to be a millionaire. God, my girlfriend's been watching that Vanderhouse Rules show. Okay, so I'll let you in on my life a little bit. Have I ever chainsawed a tree? I actually have. I've been up in a tree and I chainsawed one branch. I was pretty young. I think I was in like maybe junior high. I can't remember. It was like after the storm at like my brother-in-law's house when they lived right down the road from us. It was like right, I guess I would have been in high school, like freshman in high school. I like chainsawed a branch or something, and then I was like, nah, I don't wanna. It scared me, and I let the professionals do it. Okay, okay. Oh, Sherry says she has this one. Oh yeah, you have this one, Sherry. I'm gonna do this one a little different. I'm gonna put a squirrel on this one instead of the old owl. Okay, instead of the Hooters. Okay, stop saying how easy it is to have Hooters if you've never had Hooters. Clap, clap, clap. If you've never had Hooters. Okay. Okay, so I've added some branches. There's our tree. Okay, now let's add the ground in. So what we want to do is we want to go. Oh, I've got soda pop all over my chalk, and then it broke because it's all soft. Anyway, I'm gonna make a little ground. So I'm just gonna make some little jagged stuffs there, and boom, boom. There we go. I kind of like a dip down where the tree is, and then maybe I'll put it a little higher. I'll add a little rocky section there. Okay, and then we'll trace this in all black. Now, let's draw in our moon. Hopefully, this is dry enough that I want to cover this up. So maybe I'm going to put this just right. Oh, that's still wet. No, okay. If you got something to trace, let's circle like a cup. You could just do that. But when I do circles, circles are hard. You know, I'm just going to go with that. Okay, before we do anything else, let's take our big brush. And let's really wash it out. Let's get some white paint, and we're just going to fill the moon in white. I'm a big idiot. Let's see, have we ever chainsawed a tree? Oh, Sherry, this is the trivia question today. What's the worst Halloween candy, okay? I put a bunch of real bad ones up there. Now, I forgot black licorice, which Cracks Van Gogh said, which is a good one. I forgot that one. Okay, and I'm really washing out because I want to go just bright white, and I use black glass. So let's take another shot. I use black glass, so you know that's gonna change the color of white. Oh, I'm out of whiskey. What am I gonna do? Oh, okay. All right. Cheers. Okay, give a guess what you think the worst candy is. And if you get it right, I'll send you a free painting of your choosing. Okay, let's get some white paint on our brush. I've washed out the black. I keep forgetting to count my shots. Okay. All right, trivia questions coming down. Candy corn. Now, okay, now Tammy, let's see. Someone's guessed so far. Someone has guessed candy corn and someone has guessed almond joy. Those two are taken, okay? All right, so guess another one. Should have said that already. Okay. All right, let's take our paintbrush, get some white paint. Got my white paint on here. Now let's fill this moon in all white. Now we're going to go back and do a second layer on this. But we're gonna get one base layer down now of some white paint. Now, when I go along that edge of the where I've drawn my circle, I just kind of put my brush down and I just kind of twist my hand. I'm just kind of twisting around, okay? All right, let's get that filled in, okay? Let's fill this dang old fucking moon in. We're gonna paint some happy little shit in here. Cursing's fun. Okay. Okay, so West Coast. I like a big moon. This is a big old moon. Big moon spookier. Yeah, I guess I decided on this one though. Purdy's asking how I decided on this one or whatever. You know, it's Halloween, right? So, ooh, circus peanuts. Tammy, nice. Ooh, and Eden. Okay, so, wait. Yeah, Eden's crazy. She loves black licorice. I don't know what's wrong with her. Mom, have you ever thought maybe, you know, there's something wrong with you? That you like black licorice? Who likes black licorice? No one, that's who. Okay, let's take another shot and let's paint in our tree. Okay, you like black licorice too? What is happening? Who likes black licorice? I feel like it's something... Okay, now you both are... And I don't mean this anyway, but you guys are both a little older than I am. So maybe there's some kind of generational thing. Did you grow up on it? Did someone force feed you? Most Swedes do. What, like black licorice? Okay, my moon's not very circular, is it? Hold on, let me try to fix this. Okay, we'll do the tree in a minute. Let's try to fix the moon. Stop saying how easy it is to be a millionaire white male if you've never been a millionaire white male. Okay, I made out with a Swedish snowboarder once at a bar. It was a girl. Okay. Good for you. Okay. I'm gonna film. Okay, so here's what I like to do now. Circles, the thing with them is like, you'll sit there and find spots where it's like, oh, that's not perfectly circular, and you'll sit there and mess with them, and then they'll just keep growing and growing. This is already a pretty big circle, so I'm trying not to make it too huge. Okay, that's good. We're gonna call it there. Okay, now let's take our small flat brush. I like the small flat brush for this. If you like the round brush, you can use that. Okay, yeah, excuse me. I'm not counting my shots, am I? I know I've taken up. I know I forgot one after 4. Okay, black licorice, I don't know what to tell you guys. Black licorice is terrible. I don't know. My mother also likes bread and butter pickles, or she just doesn't know the difference between bread and butter pickles and dill pickles. What do you mean it's not? Okay. Oh yeah, this is the one with the little hole in it. I need to fix this. Okay, let's take our medium flat brush. No, I don't think you do. My mom says she knows the difference between dill pickles and bread and butter pickles, but I mean, I can prove that she's been in her house. She said they're dill pickles. I eat it. It's bread and butter. You don't know what you don't know, clearly. And you like black licorice, so I just don't know if there's much. I don't know if there's much saving you. I don't know if there's any way you can convince me that you have good taste in anything. Okay, I've got black paint on my brush now. I want to make skinny lines, so again, I might, scrape some of this off. Lay my brush down, pull it through, flip it over. It was a sweet dill pickle. That's an oxymoron. That's not a dill pickle, Mom. Yeah, thank you. Sherry doesn't like dill pickle, or she doesn't like bread and butter pickles either. Okay, I'm going to make a skinny line here and paint these trees because you guys are driving me crazy. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to put your brush straight to your canvas, meaning you want to hold it straight to your canvas. All right? Don't lean it. Don't. Straight there. And just kind of twist your brush. Just twist it, okay? Give it a little twist. Okay, so let's just start by now. I want to start by making these skinny lines, okay? And then I'll go over them, okay? Once we go back over them, I'll start pressing down thicker as I go down lower. Basically, what you want to do is start with your main tree trunk and then trace all your other branches. And every time you trace a branch, you know, add to that tree trunk, and that tree trunk gets thicker. So you want each branch to be thicker than the branch before it, essentially. You want this to be thicker than this, right? You want this to be thicker than that, right? So it should get skinnier as it goes away from the tree trunk. So that's why I kind of retrace these and just keep making everything thicker. Now, black paint, you want to mix a lot of water in, make sure it's nice and liquidy. Okay, but Mom, you did say circus peanuts, which is pretty awful. I will agree on that. Okay, and that's where we'll agree, okay? Everything else you said, though, is incorrect about licorice. Okay, let's thicken up this top one here. Remember, this is kind of that main trunk, so let's make sure that's, you know, about as thick as what's below. Oh, okay, that's real thick. Okay, that's okay. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's add some more tree branches. Let's see. Let's go through this one. Now, every once in a while, my brush starts to get clumpy again. So again, every once in a while, I'll take it and kind of scrape it off on the side, get some of that paint off there, lay it down, pull it through, flip it over, pull it through. Okay, let's see. Oh, what else has been going on? Any football fans in here? I had Derrick Henry on my fantasy football team, and he got hurt, and he's so good, and he never gets hurt, and he got hurt the year that I have him. That's the year he gets hurt. You know, does God just want me to lose in fantasy football? I think so. Yeah, I think this is, I think this goes to the spiritual level. The reason why I haven't won fantasy in a few years is because, I mean, clearly, you know, it's a spiritual warfare that it's something that's so important that, you know, the God of our universe is interfering. So, you know, God works in mysterious ways. And one of the ways is to screw my fantasy football team. But I say, I've been killing it this year. So, I mean, I'm still in a good position. I'm just whining. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is out. And I don't have Aaron Rodgers, so I'm okay with that. And it's just COVID. It's not like he's, you know, tore his, his cerebellum or something. Or he hasn't torn his ACLU or anything. Which, I'll be honest, look, Aaron Rodgers not my favorite guy. I'll be honest, I'm a Detroit Lions fan, so for obvious reasons, Aaron Rodgers he's just ruined a lot of Thanksgivings for me, you know? But can't wish the guy bad luck or anything. Okay, so let's see. We've got this tree going now. I think it gets pretty big to pretty skinny there, so maybe there I'll kind of go back and make that a little thicker there. Yeah, I thought I could, Tammy, but now with no Derrick Henry, it's going to be a totally different season for me. I might have to make a trade for a running back. Tammy, you got any running backs you want to trade me? I got a good bench. I got a decent bench. I could trade some people for a decent running. I just need one decent running back. Okay, now we're going to go back into the moon here and put some details on here. This black I kind of took into the moon, which maybe I shouldn't have now that I'm thinking about it. But we'll kind of come back. We'll put the I should probably wait on the tree branches to go over the moon. But let's go ahead and paint all the tree branches in that don't affect the moon here, and we'll come back to the branches that go inside the moon. Okay, now here we go. This is a big branch here, so it's going to start out real thick. Alright, and I'm just going to keep adding to that. Now every once in a while, like I said, might dip my brush in some water, get some of that water on here, stir it in with my paint. Every once in a while you'll start to feel your paint getting, even if you load it up with paint, it's feeling real stiff and you get those real rough textures immediately. Add some water to it. A little bit of water. Okay. Now right here it's almost thicker than here. I might just carefully just make it a little thicker there. Okay. Never see me posting up illusions. Looking in the mirror when I'm cruising. Falling in line is just amusing. Being myself is what I'm choosing. If you want to see how high I go, then I gotta sweep through all my lows. Oh yeah. Okay. Opinions don't matter to me. I'd rather just batter the beat. I notice the pattern and take it to Saturn and gather. I'd rather just come with okay, let's see. Let's take another shot. I'm almost done with my branches here. We want to add, maybe a couple coming off the bottom. There we go. Alright, maybe one there. Ah, crap. I made that way thick right there. Crap! I'm just going to leave it. Maybe let's paint something over that later. Okay, that's going to be my best bet to fix it. I don't want to get carried away with thickening this up and then making this gigantic. And get really carried away doing that. So let's not do that. But let's make some little thin, tiny branches. Like right there. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's some good, tiny, thin branches. Oh, thin branches. And I'm just dragging it super light. As lightly. It's a branch. You can kind of do whatever you want. So don't worry too much. Just try to drag light. Oh, yeah. Oh. Thin branch. What? What? Say what? Okay, okay. Okay, there's a good tree. Let's take a shot. Man, it looks so much darker on the screen than it does in here. Okay. Birdie. Oh, sorry, I'm not painting Hooters today. I'm painting a squirrel. I know we did owls last time. You just want to say Hooter. The mess up a Hooter always fixes it. You're funny. Okay, let's take a shot of whiskey. That'll help. Okay, trivia question one more time. If anybody new's watching, there's a trivia question. Ah! Okay. Oh, I should count my shot. Okay. Okay, trivia question going away. Alright, so now, oh, you do pet portraits? Ooh, cool. You should, share some somehow. I don't know how to share some on, how you do that on Twitch, but I'd like to see those. Okay, I'm getting some more black, and I'm just going to fill in where my ground, where I've kind of drawn in where the ground is going to be. Let's go and just fill that in black, okay? Just filling it in black, okay? Okay, now I'm just gonna fill this in. Now it's just kind of a ground. There's nothing really. I like this painting a lot because a lot of it's very. It's up to interpretation. You can kind of do whatever you want here. There's no real, other than the circle for the moon, which you want to be kind of exact with. Other than that, you know, you can do whatever you want. Okay, let's see. If you put this next to Zanziquan, I wouldn't be able to tell which one Joel's is. Oh wow. I don't know who's Zanziquan. Should I know that person? I probably should. Okay, now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mix up a gray. Okay. And I painted all the black in, so I feel like I've accomplished something. So I'm gonna take another shot too. Okay, now I'm gonna mix up myself a nice little gray. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some gray, and while this black paint is still wet, I want to take a little bit of gray, add a little bit of highlights on there. Okay. Take a shot first. Just to be safe, let's take one more shot. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Okay. Now, I've got my gray. Now, what I want to do here is I want to put maybe some little highlights, some little lines that make it kind of look like bars, that they're highlights that, like, the moon's coming from. So if the moon's hitting my tree from here, maybe right in here, I'll put a little bit of gray, okay? It's very subtle, but you can see it right there. A little bit of gray. And I'm going to kind of basically put little squiggly lines here. I'll stay on top of my black. I don't want to make my black parts any thicker, but I want to put some grays in there. All right. Again, you want to make those thin lines. Every once in a while, you might add a little water. Make sure your paint's not drying. Staying nice and wet and loose. My brush is kind of thick, so I might do that little scrape it off thing again. Okay, and then I'm going to get some of that gray, and I'm just going to put some little lines in there, okay? All right, let's do some lines here, folks. And what I want to do is I want to make some little kind of just like dotted, or kind of like dotted lines where they're not, you know, they're all not all connected. Like if there's a line that would go straight through, I'd kind of every once in a while lift my brush and kind of, you know, and then I put some right beside it, you know. Let's see. Purdy asks, when I get my fan mail, what's the furthest I get my fan mail from? Boy, I tell you, Tokyo's pretty far away. But you know, actually, Fiji. Got a lot of people watching in Fiji. I'm just kidding. I don't get fan mail. What are you talking about? Purdy's under the impression that I'm like world famous or something. I appreciate the compliment. It's not true though. The furthest one I get from is Hell. Lots of people in Hell watch. They're to tune in every week. Look down and you will see. On the psychiatric ward in Australia, that's pretty far away. Okay, so we've added some gray in there just to give it, you know, a little bit of light, a little bit of shading. Kind of also gets that effect of some tree bark. Now down here in the rocks, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to kind of put, you know, maybe some like light, just brush strokes. Now this is something you don't have to think too hard about, okay? The ground is just kind of, you know, just want to, while that black paint is wet, it'll mix. So I just kind of slap some in there, you know, wham, wham. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Like that. Boom. See that? Boom. Man, why is it so dark on the screen? Whatever. Who cares? Okay. Let's see. Is this white paint dry yet? No, it is not. Not at all. Okay, let's dry this again. Take another shot. Okay. Cheers. Okay, trivia question. Worst Halloween candy. There it is. Now, so far, people have guessed candy corn. People have guessed almond joy. People have guessed circus peanuts. I think that's it. A lot of people have guessed the same ones. It looks like there's some clear winners. Duh. What about I like all candy, huh? No one thinks that so far. So far, everyone's like, no, I hate that candy. Dots? Remember Dots? Those were terrible. Does no one remember Dots? Okay, or I don't celebrate. Is everyone here celebrates Halloween? Well, that's, I guess, I don't know, is that a good thing? I guess. I want a little diversity, you know? Wait, you said butterscotch, Sherry? Okay, Sherry says butterscotch. Moon pies are great. How dare you say moon pies are a bad candy? I actually, okay, oatmeal cream pies, right? We all remember oatmeal cream pies. I've got a bit of something to say about oatmeal cream pies, and this goes back to something I saw about someone. I was watching. I think it was an interview with. I think it was BJ Novak, right? He was the guy from. He was Ryan from The Office. He was talking about Cadbury eggs, and how Cadbury eggs, people have written in and said that Cadbury eggs have gotten smaller over the years, and Cadbury eggs came out and made an official statement saying, no, they're the same size they've always been. Well, old Ryan from The Office comes on and says, I've got a Cadbury egg from like 5 years ago, and here it is. And it's like a, 3/4 the size they are now, right? Now, okay, Sherry, you're wrong. Oatmeal cream pies are not gross. They're awesome. I love them, okay? Now, I ate oatmeal cream pies all the time. Get those box. Oh, they're delicious. Oh, oatmeal cream pie. Oh, my God. And I loved them, and they're great. Well, my girlfriend gets a box of oatmeal cream pies. I get one out. I eat it, and I'm like, what is this? It's, first of all, it's a little smaller, but mostly it's way thinner. Like, there's way less shit in there. The oatmeal cookie part is way smaller, and they're ripping us off, okay? It's clearly a conspiracy, and I am livid, okay, about it. Like, they're clearly making these freaking, sweets. Little Debbie or whoever the hell they are who's making these candies are ripping us off, and it's a travesty. I think there's not enough, of course, there's way bigger problems in the world, so they're just getting away with it, It's not the same. But you know what? They're still charging the same amount, I bet. They're probably charging more. I can't right now. Okay, we need to change the subject because I'm getting too heated. Okay, let's take some white paint. Let's fill this moon in all white. Nice thick layer of white paint. Now we're really going to cover up that background. Now we can't see any of that background through here. Let's get a nice white layer of paint in here to distract me from oatmeal cream pies. Bullshit. Okay. Okay. Now we got a nice solid layer of white. My white. Now what I want to do is I want to take a little bit of my gray from over here. Let's take a little bit of that gray. Just a nice little bit of gray. Okay, and we're going to mix that in here. It's going to be a pretty light gray. So just add a little bit of that black or a little bit of your gray. We want it to be a very light gray. Okay, now what I want to do here is I want to make, let's say this is a light spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to kind of do the same thing I did with my small flat brush and kind of start with like a thin little line here around. Okay, and then I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to wipe the paint off my brush, dry it off. I've got a little bit more of a dry brush, and I'm going to take my brush, kind of use the wide side of it, and go ahead and kind of just brush that edge together. Okay, I'm just going to brush that edge, kind of take it up there in the middle, up there to the middle, something like this. I might put a little bit dark, press down a little bit harder there, get a couple dark spots in there. Boom, there we go. Play with that a little bit. I could even soften that edge up, or, if you like that hard edge with the light, around the edge. That looks nice. Okay, now, here's what we want to do. This is a very technical, watch how I do this, okay? I'm going to take a paper towel, right? See? Paper towel, right? Then now watch exactly how I fold this up. Okay, I start like this. Okay, and then I do a couple more moves. And then there you go. You see that? That's very... Now I did that fast. Let me show you again. Okay. So I start with it like this, right? And then I turn it. And then I go like that. Okay? So let's take our brush now. Or let's take our wadded up paper towel now. I meant. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to take my gray. I'm going to dab it on there. And I'm just going to start adding this shit in, okay? Let's just go. There we go. And now, honestly, I would just start going. I wouldn't even worry too much. Whatever happens, happens. If you feel like it's too much, maybe I put a lot in certain areas, but the more you do this, the more it'll start to blend in. You got some wet white paint, some wet gray paint. Just go for it. Just go for it. You might, want to keep your dabs more into one area or the other. Maybe I think, I think that's too much. Maybe I want to go back to take my big brush, get some brush, wash it out, get some bright white paint again. And let's put a nice bright white spot there. Let's take some white. Let's put a little white here, there. Sure, go for it, okay? It's your painting, okay? And then maybe you take a little bit and just kind of maybe dab around a little bit so those edges aren't so hard. There we go. There's our moon, okay? Do something. Play with it, okay? Okay, we got the moon done. Now we just got to add our teal. Oh, crap. Well, then we got to add the squirrel. I'm going to look up a picture of a squirrel real quick. Okay, here's our trivia question for today. All right, let me look up a picture of a squirrel real quick. Google. Squirrel. I took French in college, and they always told what I always thought was funny was that French people can't say the word squirrel or earl or pearl, anything like that. Squirrel. When they try to say a squirrel, they go squirrel, squirrel. Like it's really hard for them to say squirrel. I always thought that was funny. There's probably a reason why, I can't remember, but who cares? It's just funny that they can't say squirrel that well. Squirrel, squirrel. I always thought that was funny. Okay, okay, here's a good squirrel picture. Open image in new tab. Okay, here's a squirrel picture. Okay, squirrel. All right, let's take that down. Let's take another shot too. Okay, so we've got this. Our black paint's pretty dry. Now let's dry the moon again, and then we'll paint the black part, the kind of the silhouette of our squirrel, and then we're gonna add the greens, and we'll be done. Thank you, Jake. Good to see you again, man. Hope you're doing well. I haven't talked to you in forever. Hope you're doing great. Okay, let's dry the moon, and then we're going to paint our squirrel on top. We might put some little branches on there, too. So let's dry this off. Let's see. What else did I learn in French class? Not much. I could read French okay, but then when it came to people speaking it, not so much. And then I also tried to, when I was taking French class, I thought I loved Step Brothers is like my favorite movie. And I would watch that every night in French. And I thought, oh, this will sink in. This will be some kind of learn French through osmosis because I know every word to this movie. And eventually, this will I'll learn French by falling asleep watching Step Brothers in French. And it didn't work at all. Not one bit. It was terrible. I'm bad at language in general. Like, it's always like my worst class. Language. If it's spelled out, like I was good at like sentence diagramming and things like that. If I could see it, it was one thing, but language in general, I was just not my best suit. I sucked at French. Main thing I remember about French, All right, this is a good story. Mom, you might, I don't know, Mom, if you're still on here, I don't know if you want to hear this, but I took French and in college, and I had this French teacher, and she was super hot. Kind of a young, clearly she was like, she had to, like, I was like 20, and she was probably like 25, you know, like one of those people who just graduated. And it was like a TA, and then worked their way up to like their first class. And I always come into class, and she always give me these eyes, like, let's get it on, you know? And I was always like, oh, this can't be real. So, of course, you know, I'm a huge pussy. I never do anything about it. And then later, like years later, I see her at this party. And she's talking about, she's like, oh, yeah, you're in my French, I'll never forget you're in my French class. And I was like, yeah, I remember you from, yeah, you're my teacher, yeah. And she was like, yeah, man, I always thought about you. And I'm like, what? And I just blew my mind. And then she had a boyfriend, so it was over, but I totally missed my chance. So that was funny. That's the main thing I remember from French. Being totally distracted by that, my French teacher. I was terrible at French. I took it one class over the summer, a summer French class. And then, oh man, I can't tell that story either. I sucked at French, basically, is the story. But anyway, okay, let's draw a squirrel here. Okay, so let's do, I'm gonna have a squirrel kind of bending over, eating his little, you know, nuts. Okay, let's go big circle. Oh no, can we see that on the screen? Vaguely. Let's go to have to do. Okay, there's our squirrel. Damn it. Keep breaking my chalk. Okay, squirrel. Now, let's draw a little small squirrel head. Right there. Right, you know, kind of 45-degree angle there. Okay, let's draw a little tiny circle there for his little nosy boy. Let's draw a couple of circles there for where his legs are going to be. Alright, and then we got the tail. So let's draw a big tail there, and then a little... There's our little tail. Okay, we'll put the ears in let's put the ears in later. Okay, let's take our... I'm going to take my medium round brush. Let's get some black paint on there. Let's fill this squirrel in. Now, this is either a giant squirrel or a tiny tree. We're going to go with tiny tree. Well, let's just go with giant squirrel. It's Halloween. We got a squirrel monster here. Okay, so let's start by filling this little circle in for the head. Start there in the middle. This is kind of the circle for the body, right? We'll start there in the middle where we know we got some squirrel body. Now, let's go ahead and make a little, let's go ahead and, now let's think about that outside edge. We got, there's the top of the head, outside of that squirrel circle. And then there's the body. I kind of connect those. A little roundness there. There's the back of the squirrel. Okay. Alright, there's the body of the squirrel. It's coming down. More of an oval, I guess. Okay, we'll start like this. Now let's bring the front of this squirrel head up more like a little point there. Okay, bringing that to a little point. Okay, connect them to that. Alright, let's do a little biomorphic shape. Okay, this is kind of weird looking now. Maybe like a rat or something. Squirrels are pretty close to rats, so that's a good start. Okay, there's another little one. Okay, now his feet are there. Now, you don't really need to paint the feet in, but we did draw those gray lines on there, so if the feet cover those gray lines up, that actually kind of works, you know, kind of helps. Let's draw some little arms. So I just kind of make some little point coming out there. Let's do another one there. And another little point. There's little arms going up to his little mouth. Aww. There we go. And maybe right here I'm just going to put a little boink. One ear. Two ear. Oh, that's a good squirrel. I'm proud of myself. Okay, let's put a big circle here. Oh, really press down there. Oh, I'm just feeling it. I am making a great squirrel here. Boom, look at that squirrel. God, awesome. It's a huge squirrel, though. The scale of that squirrel is not accurate. Okay. Okay, let's see. So, oh yeah, the green, teal. This is the last part. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's take a new plate. This is where we finally use a color other than white and black. Let's take some blue and some yellow. And let's get some white on here while we're at it. Blue, that's way too much, way more than I need, but whatever. White. Okay, now, I'm going to take my small flat brush. I'm going to use my small flat brush for most of this, because I'm more comfortable with that. Now, if you like the small round brush or the medium round brush, you do that, okay? I'm going to take my small flat brush, and we'll start with that. I might switch to my medium round brush, but let me take my medium flat brush here. It's still got some black in it. Let's wash it out. Let's take a shot, too, okay? Let's just go ahead and take a shot. Ah! Okay. Alright, now, what we want to do is let's take our small flat brush, get it nice and clean. I had black in there, so we really want to wash the black out because that's not going to make a good green. Teal. And let's mix up yellow and blue here to make a little green color, but more of a bluish green. So, you know, you need a lot more yellow than... Yellow's a weaker color than blue. Red is a very strong color. Blue's a medium strength color. Yellow's a very weak color, meaning usually when you're... Now, I'm talking about paint colors. When you buy paint, generally you need a lot more yellow to mix in with blue to make green, to make an even green. So if you want to make a nice light green, you have to use a ton of yellow. Now this we want to make a bluish green, so you kind of use equal parts, blue and yellow, and it'll kind of make more of a bluish green. And then let's add some white. And this will give us our teal color. So play with how much white you want to add. How much blue, how much yellow. But more of a bluish green, and then white is kind of what we're going for. Okay, there we go. That's kind of the color I'm looking for. Kind of a pale green color. Now, you can use whatever color you want. If you want to use bright red, whatever you want, you do whatever you want. I've got a nice bluish green mixed with some white, makes this kind of pale teal color. Do whatever you want, but I like this color. So I'm going to start with this flat brush to do some little lines on my tree. Okay? Let's see. Okay. Let's take some teal. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to basically focus on where I did my grays, right? I did my grays on my tree. Let's take some teal and let's accent those. Oh, yeah. Oh. Hell of an act. Now, after I've mixed my paint up, I'm going to admit my paintbrush is kind of a blob. So I'm going to scrape some of that off. Let's go back through, lay my brush down flat, flip it over, pull it through flat. That keeps the edge nice and skinny. See that? Okay. This is a nice spooky painting. Spooky. You can make some little ghosts. What if you made some little ghostly branches coming off? They're just green. They're like phantom branches. That'd be cool. I'm too scared to do it, but you could do it. Okay. There we go. Spooky. Spooky. Okay, now I'm going to stay a little bit of the green. I'm going to try to imagine where the bottom of my squirrel is. I'm not going to put green there. I'm going to put... Ooh, maybe there's a little green. But for the most part, I'm going to try to imagine that because the squirrel's on top of the green, I'm not going to put green on top of the squirrel. You know? Okay, now, let's do this. Let's take some green and let's make some highlights on our squirrel, okay? So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, now this is a good spot for my tiny, small flat brush, or round brush. Small round brush. Get some of that green on there. Now let's do this, okay? Let's put a little highlights on here. Okay, there's an ear, there's maybe a little line for top of the head. Now let's put a little line for where the back of the squirrel is, and maybe a little bit of dab in some greens there for where the tail might be. And then I'm basically just gonna kind of draw in where the legs are and the feet are. Okay, something like so. Right, and I'm just kind of drawing with this now. I'm just kind of drawing where maybe some of the legs or the feet might be. You know, maybe I'll put a little dot there. There's the eye. Ooh. Give a little line for the nose. And you know, you can play with that all you want. I'm going to leave it because I like that and I don't want to F it up. I don't want to fudge that up anymore. One last thing I'll do is I'll take my flat brush. I'll get some of this green. And one last thing I'll do is I might put, you know, little highlights down here on my ground. Ooh. Little drips. You know, maybe I kind of like the drips on this one. It's kind of going with a spooky feeling. Okay, and there we go. And that's a painting that was made today. Was it good? Was it great? Probably not, but I did make one technically, so fudge y'all. Okay, let's see. I think, so here's a trivia question again. Now, the correct answer was circus peanuts. Okay, circus peanuts may be the grossest thing that was ever been created. So I don't care if it's Halloween or just a Tuesday in April. I don't care what day it is. Circus peanuts are the grossest thing of all time. So who guessed? I think Sherry guessed. Sherry, did you guess? Oh. Sherry, did you guess circus peanuts? I know somebody that I'm scrolling up. But you know, a lot of people just guess multiple things, so I think that's cheating. And I am very strict on the rules, okay? So I think Sherry said circus peanuts. I can't remember if she did or not, but congratulations, Sherry! You win today's free painting. Sherry, you know the drill. Send me what painting you want. Oh crap, before I paint the bottom edge, let's take our little baby brush and let's sign our initials, okay? Now, this is just a normal little painting, nothing special. But then once you sign it, it's officially a fancy painting worth millions of dollars, okay? So sign your painting and then let's paint the bottom edge. I'm gonna paint the bottom edge black. And then we'll be done. So, congratulations, Sherry. You win. Circus peanuts are the grossest thing ever created. I hate them. I've never understood why anyone would eat them. It's literally like, I don't know where they came from. Like, who was like, we need to get rid of this, you know, insulation, extra insulation that we don't have for, you know, houses. There's too much of this crap. Let's add sugar to it and put it in candy. I don't know what evil person created circus peanuts, but I hate them, and I hate circus peanuts. So, congratulations, Sherry. You win. Sherry is an all-time. She's a paint the edge off. You know, I don't know the word I'm looking for. She's a paint the edge off. She's a classic. You're a. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but Sherry's been around. I love Sherry. She's an ultra fan. She's a longtime fan. There's a word I'm looking for that I can't think of. Congratulations. Thank you all for watching and watching me get drunk. Happy Wednesday to everybody. I love Wednesdays. My life's been really hard, okay? Don't Tell me how hard it is to be a white male if you haven't been a white male. My life's been hard lately, and I love Wednesdays. You guys make it great for me. I love you all. Thanks for watching, and I'll be on next Wednesday at 4 like every week. Have a great week. Look up Paint the Edge Off and share it and stuff and like it or whatever, and I love y'all. Have a good week. Bye.